Hello students, today we will be dealing with the types of farming. So there are different ways and types of field doing farming across the world. So depending upon the geographical condition, demand of produce, labor and level of technology, farming can be classified into two main types. So that are subsistence farming and commercial farming. So as we know, in the different areas, we have different ways of farming style, because depending upon the land surface, geographical topography, so that's why they cultivate different things according to the atmosphere also. So first one is subsistent farming. So this type of farming is practiced to meet the needs of the farmers' families. So small farming means planting in their own areas, in their own land for their food, doing agriculture to live a life from themselves. So that is called a traditional low level of. They use a lot of technologies. I mean, whatever tools they had that they produce by themselves, and the low level technologies for their own self. Okay, uh, only within the families, this kind of subsistent farming works to live their own life. Then subsistence farming can be further classified into intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. So first one is intensive subsistent agriculture. That is, the farmers cultivate a small plot of land using simple tools and more labors. So in this, we these farmers, they what they do, they have more and more simple tools, and they have more and more labor. So they pay the wages for the laborers, because their land will be very big and areas. So in that kind of production they do. So the climate with large number of days with sunshine and fertile soils permits growing of more than one crop annually on the same plot. So in the same land, on the same area, they when the climate allows, when they have a lot of facilities, according to that, they will what is that they will plant more and more in the same annual season. So rice is the main crop in India. We see mostly they produce rice. Other crops includes wheat, maize, pulses, and oil seeds. So then, intensive subsistent agriculture is prevalent in the thickly polluted areas of the monsoon region of the southeastern and the East Asia. So because here we have seasonal wise, we get rain season, and that's why it is mostly done this type of agriculture in the for these populated areas. The next one is primitive subsistent agriculture. Is includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Means primitive is like previous ancient people. What they used to do, they used to change the land one after the other. Means one year they will work in this land, and next year they will shift the land to a different area. So that is called shifting cultivation or nomadic herding. Means nomadic, moving from one place to another. That is nomadic. Then shifting. What is shifting cultivation? Shifting cultivation is practiced in the thickly forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of southern East Asia, and Northeast Asia. So these are the areas that the heavily rainfalls and thickly regenerations of vegetations or the vegetables they have. The plot of land is cleared by filling the trees and burning them. So these kind of areas, what they used to do, they used to cut the trees, they used to clean the all the areas, they used to burn, and after that they will do farming there, and afterwards the next year they'll shift to another places. And the burning thing, the ashes are the mixed with the soil, and the crop like maize, yam, potatoes, and cassava are grown. So with the burned, they will like it will produce like a manure. Okay, so that's why they used to do that. They used to burn the jungles. So after cultivators moves to the new plots, then shifting cultivation is also known as a slash or burn agriculture. So they used to known as in the slash means burning flame agriculture. The next is nomadic herding. Nomadic means moving from one place to another. Is practiced in the semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia, of some parts of India like Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir, because these are very hot places, and we know that there are no much water available on the summer days. So in these types of farming, herdsmen move from place to place with their animals for fodder and water along defined routes. So they will shift from their own places. They will go by walk through their animals. They will take their and whatever animals they have. They will move from place to place where there is green grass, water available. So this type of movement arises in the response to climatic constraints and terrain. Sheep, camel, yak, and goats are most commonly reared. Means this in these areas they do this kind of nomadic herding. They provide milk, meat, wool, hides, and other products to the herds and their families. So through this only they will be getting all the things out of which they do this kind of herding. Next one is commercial farming. So in commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared for a sale in market. So the areas cultivated and the amount of the capital used in large amount, most of the work is done by machines. So commercial farming includes commercial grain farming, mixed farming, and plantation of agriculture. So in the commercial farming, we see the large number of things are produced with the machines, mechanical things. In commercial grain farming, crops are grown for commercial purpose. Wheat, maize are common commercial grown grains. Major areas where commercial grain farming is practiced are temperate grassland and North America, Europe, and Asia. So these areas. So these areas are sparsely populated with large farms spreading over hundreds of hectares. Severe winters restrict and growing seasons, and only a single crop can be grown. So in these areas, only one thing will be grown over and over and again and again. So that is commercial farming. So in mixed farming, the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and area stocks. Mixed farming, all the things are grown one after the other. The season now, the tomato season, this goes. The next one, another season comes for another vegetable. So in that they grow different. That is called mixed. What is that? Mixed farming. Next one is plantation. Plantation are the types of the commercial farming where single crop of tea, coffee, sugar cane, chickshaw, rubber, banana, and cotton are grown. Plantations. The large amount of labors and capital are required for this. We need a lot of amount. If we don't spend, so we will have not that much outcome. So we need a lot of labors and lot of areas we need to produce. The produce may be processed on the farm itself or in nearby factories. The development of the transport New York new network is thus essential for such farmings. So major plantations are found in the tropical regions of the world. Rubbers in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in what is that? India. So India, Assam side and all mostly. So Sri Lanka, some are the examples of the plantations. Then we will be seeing what is the major crops. What is the major crops? The large varieties of crops are grown in the meat, the requirement of the growing population. So now we see a lot of population is growing in India, over the world. People are demanding for food. More and more people, population grows. We require more food. Our demand of that increases. So crops also supply raw materials for agro-based industries. Major food crops are wheat, rice, maize, and millets. Jute and cotton fibers crops. Important beverages crops are tea and coffee. These are all the major crops. बहुत important crops है जो आजकल के डिमांड में जनसंख्या बढ़ने के हिसाब से आ रही है. So these are major crops. So what are the rice? The points are there. So rice is the major food crops of the world. Means most of the world people they have rice. So it is the staple diet of the tropical of the subtropical regions. Rice needs high temperature, high humidity, and rainfall. So rice we need a lot of this atmosphere, then only it will be produced well. It grows best in alluvial clay soil which can retain water. Means you can see in the picture, if there is we cultivate these things in the water area. China leads the production of the rice, followed by India. China is the first most grown rice in the world. Then Japan, Sri Lanka, and Egypt. In favorable climate condition, has in the West Bengal, the Bangladesh, two to the three crops are grown in the year. Then wheat means gehu requires moderate temperature and rainfall during growing seasons and bright sunshine at the time of the harvest. It thrives best in a well drained loamy soil. So wheat is grown extensively in USA, Canada, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, Australia, and India. In India, it is grown in the winter, the wheat. Then millet. They are also known as coarse grains, can be grown in the less fertile and sandy soil. So it is hardy crop that needs low rainfall, not so much, then high, moderate temperature, and adequate rainfall means very sufficient of water it needs. Then jowar, bajra, and ragi are grown in India. Other countries are Nigeria, China, and Niger are also growing this. Next one is maize. Maize requires moderate temperature, rainfall, and lots of sunshine. It needs well drained, fertile soil. Maize is grown in the North America, Brazil, China, Russia, Canada, India, and Mexico. So, and the next one is cotton. Cotton requires high temperature, light rainfall, otherwise, it will be stuck in the water. The 210 forest-free days and the bright sunshine for its grown. It grows best on black and alluvial. Pakistan, Brazil, and Egypt are the leading producers of cotton. It is one of the main raw material for the cotton textile industry. So we know how, what things are made out of cotton. Next one is jute. Jute was also known as golden fiber. It grows well in the alluvial soil and requires high temperature, heavy rainfall, and humid climate. This crop is grown in the tropical areas. India and Bangladesh are the leading producers of jute. So earlier we saw when India was in the time of war, we saw the division. There was a lot of problems facing by Pakistan and India, division of Pakistan and India. Next one is coffee. Coffee requires warm and wet climate and well drained loamy soil. Hill slopes are most suitable for growing of these crops. So Brazil is the leading producer, followed by the Colombia and India. Next is tea. So most of we have tea in India. So tea is the beverage crop grown in the plantation. This requires cool climate and well disturbed what is high temperature throughout the area of the grown in its tender leaves. It needs well drained loamy soil and gentle slopes and labors in large number of it requires to plug that. And Kenya, India, China, Sri Lanka produce the best quality tea in the world. So we see our places like Assam and all.